I want you to stick with me. I want you to make sure you hang with me on this one. Make sure you pay very close attention to what I'm saying. Initially, DRM on the Xbox One. No, sorry, scratch that. Initially, Xbox employer, sorry, I don't know the name, but we all know the story. Initially, an Xbox employer came out and said that DRM is the future, deal with it. Even before that, Microsoft was known as a company that just didn't really give a fuck about their consumers. Even before that, just didn't give a fuck about their consumers. Being the first company to charge online for their games. Being the first company that just giving you one exclusive for games and the rest relying on multi-plats. The guy told everybody to deal with it. DRM is the future. He didn't even consult, like you guys say now, Microsoft makes sure they consult with their consumers. They make sure they get it right. And they didn't even consult you guys. They didn't even do a petition. They didn't even ask you a question. Is it okay if we can force DRM upon you? They just told you to fucking deal with it. Huh? That's the original statement coming from Microsoft. Yes, they allegedly fired the guy for his remarks, for saying something wrong. And yet they came out and fucking forced DRM on you in the first place. Anyway, at the end of the day, they still force it upon you. Not until everybody, not just Jimmy, Joe, me, whatever, just everybody came in unison and said, oh, hell no. This is some bullshit. There's no way we're going to stand for this bullshit. Everybody came out in unisex. The majority came out and said, fuck you, Microsoft. It's over. How does Microsoft have the goal to come into the next generation and just forcing shit upon you as if they were going to be the dominant station or the dominant console? I mean, how dare they come out with some bullshit like that? But my story's not over there yet. So they've done that. The people have turned on them. PlayStation sales have risen to an all-time high. The reason you have the 18.5 or the 18.9 or the 18 and counting going on 20 million in 1 year is because of that. Everybody ran out and made sure that they got a PlayStation and said, fuck Xbox, are trying to force shit upon the gamer. When this is basically just a hobby for all of us. This is recreational hobby for all of us. And they tried to change that so that the gaming and all this would cater to Microsoft. Bullshit. You couldn't even own your games. You couldn't trade your games in anymore. You didn't have the you know what I'm saying? Remember when you were a kid, you had that game and you would go into the Funko Land or the GameStops and you would trade in your games? You would trade them in, and you get a little bit of store credit, and you didn't really know about GameStop really hustling for your store credit. You were just happy to trade in this piece of shit ass game and receive credit to get a new game. You know what I mean? Not until you got older, you got a little wiser, and you got like, wait, it's like I'm only getting 10 cents for this bullshit. I just bought this last week. You know what I mean? But still, you had the right, you had the choice to go ahead and trade it in. Microsoft was taking away that choice. They were taking away, you had to always be online. I mean, it was just a straight up scam, and yet they never came to the consumer. They never came to the Twitters. They never really gave a fuck what you thought. Never. And this is less than a year ago, motherfuckers. This is less than a year ago, motherfuckers. I mean, this is the same thing with blacks in America, where we say racism has ended. But they were hanging your ass in trees less than 50 years ago. They're literally dragging you across the street with a fucking car less than 10 years ago. That's another story for another day. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, we instantly forget. And the Xbox fan always instantly wants you to forget. All of a sudden, you just have a clusterfuck of problems going on over there at Microsoft. They're not moving units. They're not selling. You know what I mean? The only people that are buying the consoles are Xbox loyalists, and they look like a bunch of jackasses because they're purchasing a console. That's because they're Xbox loyalists, but they bought a console and didn't even have any games to play. The games are all broken. The Halo Master Chief is a complete mess. When it first, how is your flagship game going to come out as a complete mess? Listen, that's another story for another day. All these fuck ups, and now all of a sudden, with all these fuck ups and losing money and not selling a damn console worth anything, the PlayStation is selling up the roof. It's selling like hotcakes, selling out the wazoo, including the help from the IGNs, including the help from the websites. And they basically got them PlayStation 4s out there, baby. They've done their job. That's what you're supposed to do, is sell consoles. Now Microsoft wants to go into this whole, we're your friend, we're your buddy now. You know what? We're sorry, we're your buddies. And that's when they bring it in Phil Spencer. My buddy. My buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. Ah, that's your buddy, Xbox fanboys. That's your friend. That's my friend. You know, and I always observe. You know, like I said, you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. I said that yesterday. I was observing these. I'm watching the podcast that they're doing. I'm watching all 100 of them. And I'm watching, and I'm bored to tears. If you want a good podcast, make sure you subscribe to this channel to get the PlayStation podcast. Dear God, what a podcast! And and the thing about this podcast is that I'm not even being all egocentric. It's about the PlayStation community. You know what I'm saying? I'm interviewing the community, letting the community go and say what they have to say. Except for just giving my input. I barely even give my input. I might enhance what they're saying. You know, because I mean, I'm just a natural entertainer. I'm a natural person. I'm a natural charisma, natural everything. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, I don't even put in my 2 cents. I let the community go. I let the community share their feelings. And yet when you watch these Xbox podcasts, everybody wants to be these egocentric, terrible, you know, just boring mother suckers, yo. I mean, I've never been so bored in my entire life. How do people actually enjoy and watch this garbage? They sit there and bash the PlayStation community the whole goddamn time. And the PlayStation podcast, we do nothing but praise PlayStation. We all got a friend, but mine is a G-U-N. Hold on. Let me finish now. Now, Phil Spencer, your buddy, your friend, your pal, he comes up. You know, this is what they say. Well, you know, I like Phil Spencer because, you know, he really just takes time out of his day to, you know, just talk to the people, you know? Yeah. Now, remember what I said in the beginning of the this video. This is the same company that didn't give a fuck about you. This is the same company that dropped the DRM. They took away the used games. They took away your right as a gamer. They had your balls in a vice grip saying, you know what, we're controlling all this shit for 2014 and beyond. This is the same fucking company. They never came to you guys, ever. Now they got this head, you know, this head of a specimen. Come on, Xbox fanboys, you gotta admit, I know I have a big head. My head is hooked, you know what I mean? If you look on the Egyptian walls, my head is the same head shape of the King Tut's and all that stuff, you know what I mean? I'm saying I'm royalty. This man's head is the shape of a goddamn pineapple. That's not royalty. That's because he has a big brain for, you know, coming up with all the new exclusives. Yes, he gets one of those big brains that come up with our new exclusives. Like, can you believe this bullshit? I mean, that's enough, my buddy. That's it. For now on, Sony fanboys, when you see a motherfucker praising Phil Spencer or just praising Xbox, period, just play the My Buddy song from the 1980s. With this little ass doll, where these little kids are shaking the doll or playing with the doll. They're happy with the doll. They're taking the doll down. They put the doll in the seatbelt. They're swinging the doll down on the swing set, pushing them down the goddamn slide. As if Phil Spencer's just their friend. I mean, Zoe, come on. I mean, you gotta admit, Phil Spencer really cares about the consumers. He talks to me on Twitter. He retweeted me the other day. Like, what the fuck? Like I said fucking yesterday, Phil Spencer, I don't want you to be my friend, because if you want to be my friend, that means you're gonna make, that means shit is so fucked up that you gotta be my friend. That's because when you become somebody's friend, you'll let them pass on bullshit, as we can see now with the goddamn community. The community's letting this motherfucker slide with everything. Let me break it down. With Phil Spencer in charge, Halo is fucked up. Nobody's saying anything. Sunset Overdrive sells poorly. In Japan, fucking nobody bought it. I mean, what the fuck? How is he just one people's friends but not everybody's friends? How does he only care about one people when he can be a worldwide phenomenon? The motherfucker's a joke. He's not Jesus. They treat this motherfucker like Jesus, yo. Phil Spencer is a fucking clown. He hasn't done anything. He can't sell in China. He goes to the Tokyo Game Show and doesn't do anything. He doesn't bring any games. He's talking about, yeah, I've seen some games that I really did enjoy. We're going to try to get them on the Xbox One. We're really going to do it for you guys. And it's like, what the fuck? The guy's a fucking joke. He comes out on E3 and starts naming multi-plats. One of his favorite games in the past was fucking... What the fuck did he say, yo? One of his favorite games from the past generation, and he showed some bullshit ass game. I mean, he has nothing. Our Avatar updates. Fucking. Now there's a new cable service for $20. I just seen an article where Phil Spencer is finally getting together with his co-workers to start making games. Yeah, we're going to get in private and we're really going to start working on games. Like, what the fuck? You're just now starting to work on fucking games? We're going to come up with new, original, and fun titles. That's what the fuck it is. This is a gaming council, Mike. Fucking, not Microsoft, Phil Spencer. No, but he's my friend now because he follows me on Twitter. He answers all my questions. Fuck that bullshit, man. I want you to pull the Sony approach. The way that Sony did in Japan, did you see that shit? That shit was fucking beautiful. Sony came out there and showed Japan the games because Japan's not fucking, they don't need their fucking, they're not some sensitive punk ass bitches where you gotta sit around and cater to their egos just to make them feel good. That's what the fucking Xbox community is. A bunch of sensitive ass bitches who need some motherfucker to come around and cater to them. What kind of bullshit is that, yo? You need some motherfucker to come around and cater. That's some straight up homo shit, yo. Nothing against the homo community, but the Xbox community claimed to be a bunch of tough dude bros, but they're actually a bunch of faggots underneath. You're not my friend? Oh no, why? Come on, Sony, why aren't you being my friend? Japan demonstrated was one of the beautiful demonstrations I've ever seen in my life. They came out there, showed the games. Japan didn't even clap, they didn't give a fuck. Just show us the fucking games. Give me a reason why I should own my PlayStation 4. Phil Spencer alone cannot be the reason why I'm happy to have an Xbox One. If it is, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now everybody's going to sit here and attack Zobi. Oh, fuck you, Zobi. You're a fucking gay. You're this, you're that, you're that, but they're not going to debate the fucking topic. Watch. Read the comments.